If this is a heart attack, obviously time to correct diagnosis and treatment is vital. So in the next couple of minutes, I will enlighten you a bit about Prolight's unique technology, which helps healthcare to rule in or rule out heart attacks early and save lives. At Prolight, we want to offer the foremost point-of-care systems on the market for quick, reliable diagnosis of acute events. And our launch product will be for the measurement of troponin to aid in the roll-in and roll-out of myocardial infarction. So why have we picked troponin, this biomarker? Well, during a heart attack, the troponin molecules are released into the bloodstream from the damaged heart muscle. And therefore, it is extremely important that you measure this biomarker, troponin, in addition to ECG, to be able to properly roll in and roll out a potential myocardial infarction. Today, we know that, for instance, in ambulances, they have ECG with them, but if you are to make a sensitive troponin analysis, that has to be sent in to the hospital laboratories. And that takes a long time to get that result back. So, for the majority of cases with patients with chest pains, they are brought in to the emergency departments at hospitals. So, in the US only, approximately 7 million patients present to the emergency department each year with chest pain, and that is at an estimated cost of $5 billion US. Out of those 7 million, it is less than 10% that are ultimately diagnosed with myocardial infarction. So everyone in this distinguished audience, you realize that here there are significant cost savings if a suspected myocardial infarction could be rolled out early in the care chain with the support then of point-of-care systems that can quickly and safely measure troponin at extremely low concentrations. At Prolight, we have now developed a unique digital technology with our point-of-care system. And when I say point-of-care system, it is this reader I hold in my right hand, and this is the cartridge. So the little cartridge is then prepared with the antibody that we are looking for, in this case, troponin. So I take a drop of blood on the cartridge and insert it into the instrument. And as I do this, if the blood now contains troponin, we will see that the biomarker then binds to the antibody, and by doing this, releases a photoactivated localized fluorescence bleaching, which results in a permanent black spot that you see there on the screen. And every spot corresponds to molecular binding for the search biomarker, which in turn then is counted digitally by an optical camera lens that is inside the instrument. The test result then is showed on the screen where you get the concentration. So hereby we have developed an ultra-sensitive platform where biomarkers can be detected at extremely low concentrations. And already last year we were able to demonstrate proof of performance in serum as well as in whole blood for high sensitive troponin. And the performance, obviously, in terms of sensitivity and precision, is equivalent to the central laboratory. Throughout the entire development process, we have had a laser focus on COGS. And all through what I want to tell you here is, by this, I believe we have truly a superior performance compared to all competitors existing on the market, as well as those who will enter the market. I will also like to mention that when I say digital, it's that this is our proprietary technology where we are counting individual molecules. And this will be the very first time that you will have that technology on a point-of-care instrument. And also where we're able to show test results in as little as 10 minutes. So what is the market then looking for in terms of point-of-care instruments? Well, obviously you need to be able to detect, in this case troponin, at extremely low concentrations that are stipulated in the European and the US guidelines. Performance obviously has to be equal to central laboratories, and the response time should be within 10 minutes. The market also like to see that the point-of-care system should be portable and very easy to use, and be also with very small sample size, preferably a drop of blood. What the market also wants to see is if there is a possibility to test several biomarkers at the same time on the very same cartridge with the same amount of blood. That's what we call multiplex. And as everyone knows, it's extremely important to have a competitive price. Well, I'm happy to tell you, with our now unique digital point-of-care system, we can actually, today, I can tell you that we meet all these stringent requirements that are set by the market. So therefore, I will tick them off, each and every one in green here. Now, as we move on, how then are we delivering according to our milestones? Well, I can tell you that we, for the first 5 months of this year, we have continued to deliver to all of what we have promised. First of all, we have now finalized our commercial cartridge, and it's designed now to be manufactured at very large scale to ensure a competitive low cost of goods. And this also contains all the reagents required to complete the test with dried cartridge chemistry. Why do I mention this? Well, we thereby avoid the complexity and cost of expensive liquid reagents and blister packs. Second, we have also appointed the Scottish Flex Medical Solutions as our manufacturing partner for a cartridge. They are a specialist contract manufacturer up in Scotland, and they have now a fully validated facilities. We have also, during this first 5 months, been able, through a thorough due diligence, to select MDX CRO, a Spanish CRO company, who will be responsible now to help us with the clinical performance studies going forward. And we have selected them not only based on their reputation for excellence and comprehensive research capabilities, but also because they are specialized in regulatory compliance, which has become increasingly important given the new IVDR regulations. We have also communicated here a week ago that we, on this new commercial cartridge, have been able to show robust performance, where we now have incorporated an internal cartridge quality control on each and every cartridge, positive and negative, and thereby we can ensure that every test result is validated. We have also, a week ago, we were extremely happy, and I was very proud of my team, that we were able to receive a very prestigious British grant of as much as 17 million Swedish crowns for the further development of our Syros point-of-care system. This is not only a very significant monetary amount of 17 million, but it's also an external endorsement of this single molecule counting technology that lies in the heart of our system. This money now will be used already. We have planned for making a pre-validation study So we are thereby able to secure an optimal outcome of the full performance study that we are to perform next year. And I can also tell you now that we will, for the very first time, use our prototypes to be tested with fresh blood from chest pain patients at situ at St. Thomas Hospital in London. Moreover, we are also now able to test it on store samples from as much as 700 healthy subjects and 400 chest pain patients, whereof half of them, 200, actually have a confirmed heart attack. So these data and the results will now be presented later on this year, and that will truly help us to de-risk the full clinical validation coming up next year and to attract industrial partners. So the road now to commercialization you see in front of you, and we're already half through 24, and now we are able to use the grant money we received to conduct these pre-validation studies, and also now we will complete our pilot manufacturing lines, both for the instrument and cartridge. So at the end of this year, marked in red, we will have a commercial point-of-care system ready for clinical validation. Then we will move into early next year, where we then will run into our full clinical performance study, where the results will then be a foundation for our technical file that we will submit into the notified body who will give us the regulatory approval. And thereby we'll have the commercial launch in early 26. So it's only a year and a half from today. So last but not least, what's the interest here on the market then? Well, for point-of-care systems, it has increased significantly after the COVID pandemic. And now the global market is estimated to grow from approximately 38 billion to 78 billion US in the coming 8 years. And I will just give you a few examples of acquisitions that have taken place recently. We have from Roche, end of last year, acquired Lumira for approximately 295 million US. Thermo Fisher acquired Mesa Biotech for 450, and Abbott Alaire, who acquired them for 5.8 billion US dollars. So all in all, I would like to say that today I see a great potential in Prolight Diagnostics based here in Lund, particularly for our digital counting, where we can then count each molecule. We have now seen that there's a very high demand for our system on the market, and I truly see with our groundbreaking, user-friendly technology, with all these many unique advantages, I believe we can now see that we will be able to create great value, not only for healthcare, but also for patients that we have talked about this morning, as well as for shareholders. So all in all, we have a very short path to commercialization, only 1.5 years from now. So with that, I want to thank you for your attention. And if you want to learn more about Prolight, please visit our homepage, where you can also find recent company analysis made by Emergers as well as Mangold, and also a number of articles published by BioStock. So with that, thank you very much indeed.
We have someone asking, what other biomarkers is Syros measuring?
So, thank you. Well, first of all, we are now finalizing for high-sensitive troponin, and we picked that biomarker on purpose because it's so extreme. I would say it's probably one of the most difficult biomarkers to put on a point-of-care device and get down to the extremely low concentration that is required by the European and US guidelines. In addition, obviously, a natural step is to move into other cardiac biomarkers, such as D-dimer and BNP. But I want to make it clear, there are, just to start, this is the top of an iceberg, because today there are so many other biomarkers that can only be performed in specialized laboratories that now can be moved into this very powerful point-of-care system.
Great. But you also just mentioned some deals, and someone is asking what is your view for your deal potential within? Sorry, let me start over. Are you viewing your deal potential within the same value frame as the deals you just mentioned? Why or why not?
I would say, since we are having such a potential to bring out a number of new biomarkers from the specialized labs to our little instrument, I would say we would absolutely be in that era. That's why I presented on the screen.
Great. And the last question, what is most crucial for you to be able to succeed with launching Psyros in 2026?
Yeah, first of all, we have to, at the end of this year, we are on track with everything to have a final commercial point-of-care system ready. And then obviously we need to go through the clinical validation, the full performance study. There you never can, well, we are not in the power to say how long time it will take for the regulatory agency, in this case the notified body. But it looks very promising. We have already initiated dialogue with them. So for now, I would say it looks very promising and we should be able to reach launching in early 26.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, thank you so much, Ulf, for answering the questions and for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Ulf Bladin, everybody.